Hello, everybody, and happy Monday. Um, so to start the week off, I want to offer you a little bit of education about the body before we start our practice. So my intention for today is to offer you a deeper understanding of one of the systems in our body. I believe a big part of embodiment, of connecting to the body, is understanding how our body functions, right? So I was always someone who wanted to be in my body. I wanted to feel my body. I really loved stretching and yoga and building strength and just moving. So that was always a natural thing for me. But when I became a massage therapist, I began to learn and understand how the body functions. And that really helped me gain a deeper understanding of where pain comes from and where certain emotions come from and how tension can correlate with problems that we're having in our lives and how pain can correlate with old traumas or old patterns that we carry from childhood. And everything, I learned how connected everything really is. So, but today I want to bring lymph forward. I want to continue with this theme of movement and using movement to get into the body. And lymph is really important here. So just, a basic 101 of the lymphatic system is it's basically like the trash system of our bodies. We have the circulatory system, which moves blood through the veins and the arteries and carries nutrients. The lymph system also carries nutrients, and it also carries away toxins in the body. And so that's why exercise is so important to the health, because it moves lymph. So the lymph system needs to be moved manually. The blood pumping harder, getting the heart rate up, will move the lymph. It will push it forward. There's also manual therapy, manual lymphatic drainage, which will encourage the lymph and work with the lymph nodes to move the lymph. And this is also why people who live a very stagnant life tend to get sick more often. So what I would love to do is to, first show you where the lymph nodes are. And we will come into not necessarily feel them, but just experience the areas in the body where they are and move those areas to encourage the movement of the lymph. We're not going to do any exercise. We're just going to move. So the lymph nodes are where the lymph goes through, and the process, which we won't get into, occurs. So the lymph nodes are very important. There are lymph nodes here in the neck, all the way down into the clavicle, down into the heart, and then they run down into the digestive system, around the aorta, around the intestines, in our inguinal nodes, and here, the crease in the hips, the knees, behind the knees, here. The armpits. So this is a very important area for women with breasts. And elbows. These are the main areas where your lymph nodes are. So these are the areas that need to be moved. So for example, let's say you go for walks every day, but you walk with your hands in your pockets. Going for walks is great, it gets the blood moving. What could be better for your body to be mindful of moving lymph is to let your arms swing. This will move the lymph here. It will also move the lymph here. It will also move the lymph around here. Also, doing neck stretches and exercises, just every once in a while throughout the day, just moving your neck, rolling your neck around. That will also move the lymph. So if you're not in a place in your life right now where you're exercising, this is why we have embodiment tools. This is why we have tools to connect to the body so that we can continue to nurture and take care of the body when we don't have the motivation to exercise. And we can understand what our body needs and we can feel, okay, I know this is here. A lot of times, massage clients would come in and they have achiness in certain areas and there's lymph nodes there. After the massage, the achiness is gone. Their lymph nodes were blocked, clogged. There wasn't enough flow, and then they felt flow. So we're going to see if we feel any achiness in those areas, if we feel any stagnation in those areas, or if we feel openness. And so I want to invite you to get yourself into a position where those areas can be open and free. I'm sitting in a half lotus right now, and so the lymph nodes in my knees are not really opened and free. The lymph nodes in my hips are pretty open. So I want to suggest to you either lying down or sitting in a way that your legs can be, your feet can be below you so that your knees are at least at a 90-degree angle. And of course, at any point throughout the practice, I invite you to change positions depending on what you're feeling. Always follow the guidance of your body. I am just here to guide you to connect to your body's deeper wisdom. But you know your body best. And even if you think you don't know your body very well, and you can't really feel your body, and you're just beginning to, trust the feelings that you get as I am guiding you. Trust what comes forward. Because when you are allowing me to guide you, when you are putting in when you are putting yourself in a place of receptivity to be guided by me, you are also putting yourself in a place of receptivity to be guided by your body. And so this is the time that you can trust what you're feeling. As long as you're not wrapped up in your head and you are focused on sensation, this is the time that you can trust what you're feeling, okay? So today I also want to invite you to do as much movement as you would like. If you're feeling really energetic and you want to move a lot, do that. If you're feeling more stagnant and tired, listen to that. Today is just about connecting to our lymphatic system. Okay. Okay, so I'm hoping by now everybody is in a position where they are comfortable and ready to begin. And so as we begin to settle in to the body, into our experience, we begin to quiet, begin to bring awareness to the breath. Just noticing how the breath enters you, fills you, and moves through you. I want to invite you to close your eyes today so that you can really go inside and minimize distractions. And whatever you feel or don't feel is exactly what you need right now. So continuing to remind ourselves when thoughts of judgments or expectations or stories about our experience come up, that everything is exactly the way it's supposed to be in this moment. And this is the information that you are being gifted in this moment for your highest purpose. So we carry gratitude throughout the practice for having the opportunity to experience our bodies, to experience being human, and to deeply connect with this vessel that moves our soul around on this planet, giving us a human experience. Noticing how the breath shifts as you continue to watch it, inviting the breath to fill you more deeply with every inhale, and noticing what moves, noticing where the breath goes, and allowing your body to melt into a soft surrender on every exhale. A little bit more. With each exhale, we melt into surrender, into relief and release. With every exhale, melting into the embrace of the ground, of what's holding us up. Continuing to invite the breath all the way down the spine, through the throat, around the heart, past the belly, into the womb, expanding the thighs, expanding the pelvic bowl, connecting you to the earth, melting into a sweet surrender on every exhale. I'm going to give you a minute of silence just to connect to the breath. Noticing what sensations arise around the breath. Noticing what comes up around the stillness. Just being with it. Continuing to keep your focus on the sensation around the breath. I'm going to talk a little bit. So don't pay too much attention to the words that I'm saying. Your body is receiving my words in this quiet space. Allow my words to enter you with the breath as you continue to observe sensation and shifts in how the breath fills you. And just notice what happens as my words flow through you. The breath is movement. As I said before, the lymph needs movement to function well. The breath moves lymph. Every time you inhale and exhale, it encourages movement. Every time you inhale the breath into your belly and your belly expands and then contracts, it encourages movement in the lymph nodes in your abdomen. So noticing how your breath shifts with the intention that you may offer to your body to move the lymph around your heart in your rib cage. Only with your breath, melting on the exhale, allowing the lymph nodes to slingshot the lymph through the nodes with every breath. Imagining with every inhale, lymph being pushed into the node. With every exhale, the node releasing the lymph past through. Not putting too much effort into the visual image. Don't get lost up there in your mind. Just the intention, just the words that I'm saying that are passing through with your breath. Notice what's happening. Notice what changes. Notice what stays the same. Just witness. I want to invite you to bring deeper breaths in if that's what is being called of you, or to just continue to watch the breath, following your own guidance. Now noticing what happens as we set the intention to experience the breath expanding the throat. When you feel the breath caress your lymph nodes, the direction of the lymph is going down the throat, down the neck, towards the heart. So when we do manual lymphatic drainage, the lymph nodes are just underneath the skin. So I want to invite you to rest your hand on your neck with your thumb on one side and your fingers on the other. Resting your hand without adding any pressure or squeezing. If you're sitting up, allow the hand to drag the skin down as if your arm is falling and your skin on your neck is stuck to the skin on your hand. With every breath, expanding the throat on the inside and feeling the fingers drag your skin down onto your ribs, your sternum. You can repeat that and continue to repeat it. You can switch hands and do the other side. As you continue this practice, keeping your awareness on the sensation of the breath on the inside and noticing the sensations around the neck as you continue to allow your hand to drag the skin down. Lymph nodes are just underneath the skin. So if we apply pressure, we're pushing on them. But lymph nodes want to be encouraged, not forced. And so the pressure is as if someone were resting a dime or a quarter on your neck and just dragging down towards your heart. Continuing this practice, dragging your hand down your neck, or playing with expanding the neck from the inside and noticing sensation there. Playing with different ways you can experience sensation, while also being mindful of the important lymph nodes here. Many times, massage clients will come in with neck pain, with a stiff neck. And I will do this dragging down their neck. And this alone, encouraging the lymph nodes to move and free the blockages, will allow the tension in the muscles to rest. So we can say that a lot of tension and pain can be caused by clogged lymph flow. Clogged lymph nodes. Some of you may notice that when you come into these practices, you yawn a lot. This is wonderful. This is nothing to be judged. This is your nervous system re-regulating itself. When we yawn, we move lymph in the neck. So if you are yawning, bring your awareness to the neck and encourage the lymph to move and offer gratitude for this yawn. This yawn is moving the lymph in your neck. Now bringing your awareness down the heart into the belly, inviting the breath to fill the belly. Now, the way we can really invite the breath is to make space. So you will expand the belly. By expanding the belly, you are pulling the diaphragm down towards the abdominal organs, down into the digestive organs, creating more space for the breath to fill you. Expanding the belly in the front, expanding the belly on the sides and in the back. Maybe you can only imagine right now. Maybe you feel blocked. Don't push or force. Just expanding as much as you can with ease. Inviting the breath at the same time. And they work together. You're not pulling from the bottom. You're working together. Expanding and opening. Making space to be filled. And expanding your belly. Pulling the diaphragm down to massage your digestive organs. You are encouraging your lymph flow here. Continuing to watch this movement with non-judgment, no expectations, only curiosity. What do you notice? What happens? Now, do not expect that you will feel the lymph. This is not what we're going for. It is unlikely that you will feel the lymph. You might feel it, but this is not the intention. It's only to bring awareness to the areas where the lymph nodes are more abundant, where there are more of them. And to bring the intention of movement and encouragement with the breath. Expanding the belly. Breath coming all the way down. pressing on the diaphragm, massaging the digestive organs, encouraging the lymph to flow. Now, breathwork practices really get this moving. But a lot of us don't like breathwork. This subtle breath work that you're doing now, this subtle invitation, it's enough. It's enough. Continuing to enjoy the breath filling you. We will now bring our awareness to our armpits. Now you can cross your hands and put your fingers in your armpits. If you bring your fingers forward to the front of your armpits, underneath your fingertips is where you may find lymph. You lift your arm up and we're to change the angle of your fingertips so they face forward. You will also find lymph. If you feel any small nodules, beads, bead-like sensations under your fingers, if you move them around a little bit to explore slowly, consciously, you may find little bead-like sensations under your fingers. This is what it feels like when there is a lymph that's clogged. And it needs encouragement to move. There's nothing to worry about. This is why we do these practices, so that we know what's going on in our bodies. So we are empowered to heal ourselves and to prevent illness and disease. Now, inviting the breath to meet your fingers and to expand your shoulders. What do you notice? Staying here as long as you want, or joining me as we begin to move into movement. Remembering that there are also lymph nodes in the front, in the elbow creases. Before you begin to move, allow your body to decide what it wants, how it wants to move. Knowing that the shoulder joint can move in many different directions. It is the most mobile and delicate joint on our bodies. So inviting play, as if you were a baby exploring the body, exploring this area where there is lymph, encouraging flow without force, without fear, but an intention of encouraging flow and the flow goes up towards the clavicle, and then we'll come down into the heart. So the flow goes up towards the clavicle, down into the heart. You may bring your fingers up towards the clavicle, in and down towards the heart under your sternum. Beginning at your own pace to invite movement into your shoulders. I'll give you some space here to just play, staying at a pace where you can continue to keep your awareness on your armpits. You may stand up if that helps. Remembering whatever position you feel is most comfortable for you is the best position for you. Remembering that there is lymph in the neck and you are completely free here to allow your body to move in whatever way it continues to move. Just follow with curiosity what your body is doing. Now, if you have breasts, I want to invite you to include your breasts in this movement. You may shake them with your hands. What I really love to do and encourage is to shimmy them and allow them to shake freely. This can be really scary for a lot of women. A lot will come up. So really watch. Basically, to shimmy, you just bring your shoulders forward and back in an alternating way. I want to invite you to either come back to a place of stillness or come back to a pace that is slow enough where you can receive my words and instructions while keeping your awareness on sensation. We are going to bring our awareness down into our inguinal nodes, the nodes in our hips, in our underwear line, if you wear underwear. How can you move this area either standing up, lying down, kneeling on all fours. How can you move this area? If you feel stuck, you may look at me and see what I am doing. But first, bring your awareness here. Invite the breath to expand all the way down into the hips, to open. Watch this. And notice if your body begins to move. And continue to watch as a witness as your body begins to open and move here. You may put your hands in this area to feel, but mostly just allow your body to begin to move, just being offered this invitation and intention. Now, while we are moving our hip joints, our inguinal nodes, also recognizing that we are able to move our knees. How can you also move your knees as you are moving your hip to open and close the knee joint, to slingshot the lymph through the lymph nodes all the way up? The lymph is coming in the direction of the heart. This may feel like a bit of a workout. You might feel a little fatigued quickly. Coming back to a place of stillness, you can stay standing, you can lie down, or sit back in the way that you were rested when we began this practice. Just bringing your awareness back to your breath and just noticing the sensations in your body, bringing your awareness to your neck, your armpits, your elbows, down the heart, down the belly, into the hip creases, into the back of the knees. What are you noticing? I'm going to leave you here. Stay here for as long as you'd like, just noticing what has shifted, what sensations arise, what's there. Thank you. And I will see you on Friday.